It has been confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. They say power never ends, and they've been teasing that for a while. I genuinely think they mean it. Since they have a plethora of power-related tales to share, the recently announced information shouldn't come as a surprise. I, for one, wasn't surprised. A new Tariq and Tommy show has been a hot topic of discussion, debate and theory. Call it what you want. We've been discussing this topic for well over a year. In fact, we talked about it in my previous breakdown. It just made the most logical sense since they announced the cancellation of Ghost last March, and then followed that by announcing the final season for Book 4, Force. Add in the phone call that Tariq received at the end of Ghost Season 4 in the post-credit scene. The stars were aligning for Tariq and Tommy to come together for one last dance. Later in this breakdown, I'll explain what I mean when I say one last dance. Again, it's something I actually spoke about just this past week, and I do think everything is lining up for that particular prediction and theory as well. A new show with Michael Rainey Jr. and Joseph Sikora leading in the present timeline is pretty much confirmed. Therefore, in this breakdown, we will examine the article in greater depth, examine the significant points of discussion, and inquire as to why now. Why is this information being made public now? And from a narrative point of view, how could this crossover possibly occur in the upcoming Power Legacy spin-off set in the present day? Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Joseph Sikora here back in New York City to announce that the rumors are true. Power Book 4 Force is dropping this fall, and we definitely knew Tommy's journey was far from over. This is the article that Deadline released, where they dropped the announcement of the new spin-off. They mentioned that there's not just one but two Power offshoots in the works. The other spin-off is Power Origins. Power Origins showrunner has been confirmed to be Sasha Penn. The article said that they are currently in the writer's room with that particular spin-off, and its chances of being picked up look pretty good. When they are ready to announce more, I'm sure we will receive additional information. But let's focus on Tariq and Tommy. The Deadline article confirms Gary Lennon is going to serve as showrunner for Power Legacy along with Kendra Chapman. They mentioned that the writer's room for that project is expected to open soon. Power Legacy will follow the events of Force since Ghost. Everyone even more excited. Fans will now be watching closely to see if Tariq pops up at the end. Did Tommy call Tariq? Will Tariq show up in Chicago? Is this preparing for the subsequent show? So, yes. It builds hype and anticipation for the final season of Force, which I've said is going to be absolutely insane. Tommy picking up the phone to call Tariq will be that one moment that we will all be waiting for. Show me the specifics and I'll be on my way, you said. A crucial clue came from that phone call. It strongly hinted at a future spin-off, or at the very least, Tariq crossing over into Chicago. Joseph Sikora's announcement that Season 3 would be his last in Chicago, plus Michael Rainey Jr.'s cryptic social media post from Lionsgate Studios, it all pointed to Tommy being on the other end of that call. This article confirms it. I believe we'll see Tariq cross into Chicago toward the end of Force Season 3, setting up Power Legacy. Why not now? Apart from the obvious reasons, there are many possible storyline angles. Tommy may have been betrayed by CBI and has no allies left, so he calls Tariq. Or perhaps he requires assistance with the conflict against Miguel Garcia and the Mexicans. AGDDD, or perhaps he's already dealt with those problems, and now there's a new big bad, maybe even a shared enemy. I've also spoken about the theory involving Elisa Marie and the Italians. Keep that in mind. We'll likely revisit that one again soon. Another question is where Tommy and Tariq are going. Deadline did mention Chicago, New York, or somewhere new. That information hasn't been revealed yet, either because they're still working out logistics or because Gary Lennon and the team are keeping it under wraps. Maybe it's something they'll unveil in the final episodes of Force Season 3. Personally, I think LA makes sense. That was Tommy's original destination before he made a pit stop in Chicago, which turned into a whole journey. We know characters like Rodolfo are out in LA and had ties to Jason Michich. If they wanted to explore that further, it would make sense. I doubt they'll go back to New York. Tommy's done there, and supposedly dead there too. However, this is Power. They alter reality. There will be a way for the writers to get Tommy back in New York. Still, I think we're heading somewhere new, and LA fits perfectly based on previous teases. Now, will any past or present cast members join Power Legacy? Who knows? There's Tasha, Braden, Kane, and several characters from Force. What happens, for instance, to D-Mac? He's Tommy's nephew. Will he join the new show, or will they close his story in Season 3? There's also Maria, his love interest. A lot needs to be wrapped up in this season. And what about characters like 2-Bit? And while he didn't fit Chicago, maybe he fits the next chapter. Remember him for Power Legacy. Now that this new chapter is almost certain, I want to ask you once more. Do you think this will be Tommy's last chapter, his final dance, serving as Tariq's final mentor? Personally, I believe it will be. Gary Lennon teased something like that after Force Season 2. If this is the end, it will be interesting to see how they wrap up Tommy's story. If you missed my last breakdown, I highly recommend checking it out. I went into all of this in much more detail. But that's the official announcement, my thoughts and some predictions that I believe align with the timeline of the past couple of years. Judging from interviews and social media activity, it's an exciting time for Power fans. It's wild to think we're 11 years into Power, yet it feels like a new era is just beginning. We might hit 15 or 16 years with this next phase. After that? Well, they say Power never ends. Let's see what they have planned next. Please let me know what you think about the new Tariq and Tommy show and the name Power Legacy in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. See you again next time.